It's only sport with Martin Devlin on the platform. Brought to you by One New Zealand. Let's get connected.
And let's give him a drum roll, because we always do. It's fantastic to bring him back on the show, as always. Rested from South Africa, I hope. Jet lag gone. But then again, when you fly where you fly on the plane, you don't really get jet lag, Justin.
Good afternoon to you, Marty. Yeah, it's nice to be home. The disappointing thing for me, mate, was I was on the same flight back to New Zealand as what the All Blacks were. So there weren't any good seats left, put it that way. So I was a little bit more cramped up than what I usually am.
Couldn't you just say as you walk past, listen, I am one of those, okay? So just find me an extra one.
I tell you, I remembered all those good old days of travelling in luxury, but those days are gone, mate. They were the ones suited and booted and in the right seats. But yeah, it's nice to be home, and it was a great couple of weeks in South Africa. The one thing that I will say is South Africans love the All Blacks, and they love New Zealand rugby, and they embrace our country when we go there and play them in their own backyard. And they're such, great people, such hospitable people. And yes, they are our rivals, and yes, they're competitive, but being over there and being part of it was real special, and I was glad that I was over there, and I loved every single minute of being involved in those two test matches.
Is that rain I can hear on your roof, mate?
It is indeed, yeah. I've come home to rain, and ironically in Johannesburg, they haven't had rain for 3 months, not a single drop of rain, and that's kind of just the way that they operate. So they look forward to spring when they get their rain. Well, we're in spring, and we're getting plenty of it here in Queenstown.
Just spoke to Renee Swan, who owns and runs the Collingwood Tavern, and you know where that is, of course, being a mainlander, and they've got the Ranfurly Shield there on display at the moment. It arrived about an hour ago. Isn't this the coolest thing about that trophy, mate? And when you've won it, and I know that, you know, how big you were when Southland won it and all of that kind of stuff as well. The fact, this is the point of the thing, isn't it? To take it around to every little place that you can possibly take it.
Well, it absolutely is. And obviously this is new for that area. So, you know, for them it's something that they haven't seen or haven't been able to have I guess a real close relationship with, you know, because it's never sort of changed hands at all in that province. So the ability to see it for the first time and show it off while you can is amazing. And people that have not been around the Shield will now know what its mystique is all about and how proud you are when you do hold the Shield. And I certainly feel that it more than has its place in New Zealand rugby. I'm glad it's still as sought after a Shield as it's always been, and trophy for players to aspire to, and long may that continue.
12 All Blacks. I want to cover a couple of topics before we get into talking about the Wallabies test and also your thoughts on us in South Africa. 12 All Blacks have been released to play this weekend. I was hoping it was going to be more. When you were playing, if you had the opportunity to play a Shield challenge like this weekend, Tasman versus Wellington, would you be kicking the door down the All Black coach's bedroom and saying, come on, man, let me bloody play? It's a week away from a test match. It's better prep than going to training every day.
Well, Marty, you know me well, so I think you already know the answer to that.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Absolutely, I would be. And I feel that your time in any jersey is limited, and you've got to appreciate every moment you get the chance to put the boots on and go out and play for club, province, franchise, country, and do it while you can, because you're a hell of a long time retired. So yes, I would certainly be kicking the door down, not only just to play a game, but particularly a high-profile game like a Ranfurly Shield match. And that's actually why we play the game, Marty. That's why you put the jersey and the boots on and you run out there to play in these moments and these games that create magic moments and memories. And I'm certainly sure that every player out there will tell you the same thing, that they don't want to be rested, they don't want to have time off, they simply want to get out there and play while they can.
How important do you think is playing games like this as well, where there's so much consequence on winning and losing, because you can't buy that, and that's something you can never train for, and we don't get that many opportunities in New Zealand rugby, do we ever? I know we do Super Rugby knockout matches, but where the only thing that's important is winning, which is what Test match rugby is.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I think it's really important. I certainly feel that, there is this situation at the moment that we have created about volume and about player fatigue. But I think if you talk to the players and they give you their feedback would be that when the season is on and when their body is feeling good, they don't want to lose that momentum that you can generate by getting yourself or playing yourself into form. You want to get back out there and continue to test yourself, to continue to grow your game so that you can actually probably seek out that perfect performance. If you get put on the sidelines for a couple of weeks and you sit there wondering and all you can do is train it, it doesn't get you anywhere, and mentally it doesn't help you either. Like I certainly feel that what the All Blacks now need after the setbacks that they've had is all of their players just to get out there, throw the rugby ball around, and actually remember why you picked the goddamn thing up in the first place.
Right.
It's because you love the game. And I'd imagine they're not feeling a lot of love for the game at the moment because of the pressure they've been under. Hey, look, they're still gritting their teeth, they're getting out there, and they're working and trying really, really hard. But equally, you've got to enjoy what you're doing. That's why we all play. And I feel that if you are fit and healthy, sometimes the best thing you can do is, for whatever reason it might be and for whatever team, is put the boots on and get out there and play with a smile on your face. And maybe if you're a little low on confidence or mentally you're feeling a little bit of pressure, then the best way to eliminate that is to go out and play.
Justin Marshall, this 81 Test veteran of the All Blacks, and you were working for SuperSport over there in South Africa, and I love this because you did it during the World Cup as well, that when you're sitting there and you're surrounded by those who aren't your kin and your kind, you get a different perspective, you're hearing different things, the conversation topics are different, it's coming from a different angle, all of those things. So just your absorbing and observing what you felt all of those around you thought about the All Blacks. What was the general impression? Did they think we were off the pace, close to it? What?
Oh, no, they very much have this huge amount of respect for the All Blacks. In both Test matches, they were very nervous about the Springboks' chances, just simply because they feel that the All Blacks just carry this ability to win a Test match regardless of form, regardless of situation. And the minute that you button off or become complacent, the All Blacks can bite you. They don't buy into this fact that the All Blacks are struggling or the team is out of sync. They buy into the fact that the All Blacks are world class and will always be world class, and they have a huge amount of respect for our players and for our history, and they don't by any means take for granted the fact that when they enter into a Test match, even as favourites, that they're going to win it. So on all counts, they were very respectful, but very, I guess, anxious about the result. They certainly feel that across the park we've got firepower and we can hurt any team in the world. But they do also recognise that at this stage, with the transition that's happened post-World Cup, new coach coming in, that we are probably under pressure, not functioning like we usually do. But ultimately, all of those players that I worked with in SuperSport, you're talking Jean de Villiers, Schalk Burger, Schalk Brits, those guys have been there and they've done that, and they've been to the coalface before, John Smith. But yeah, they certainly see the All Blacks for what they are, and that's what I love about them, the fact that they hold us in that regard.
It's Only Sport with Martin Devlin on the platform. Brought to you by One New Zealand. Let's get connected.